Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Sincere Tarot, where you get the raw, honest truth. This is your mid-July tarot forecast, and your theme is the Princess of Pentacles, a thirst for knowledge, being practical and grounded. A lot of people have lots of ideas and dreams, but the Princess of Pentacles can actually manifest them into physical reality. So that's pretty good. Let's see what else is in store for you for the rest of the month. But before I lay out these cards, if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me out so much and I really, really appreciate it. All right, what does Scorpio need to know for mid-July? Please and thank you. Interesting. Oh. Well, something will throw you for a loop. Okay, so we've got you're coming up as the Page of Wands. I feel like you've got a lot of good ideas and you've got a lot of creative spark. So you might be in the midst of either some sort of like messages and I'm saying actual sending messages, emails, things like that, but also something to do with a creative project. I feel like there's somewhere further with this creative project that you can go, but like you're worried about money, and it's actually like worried about money. The worry about money and income is actually blocking you to what you want. And you might not believe me right now because maybe you're thinking, oh no, I'm being practical with money. You're not really seeing that part of yourself right now. I think you just have these preconceived notions about money, and it's probably some things, negative things about money that maybe you learned when you were a child, that there's a lot of emotions wrapped into it. For example, here's a belief that so many people are taught, and I heard it all the time as a child, is money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. Before money was invented, there were still people killing each other and all of those things, like, come on, money is not the root of all evil. But if we sometimes get beliefs about money ingrained into us and we might think consciously we don't have them, that's just one of the many examples of negative thinking towards money, right? But I feel like there is negative thoughts around money, and maybe you feel like, oh no, you can't spend this little bit that you have because you feel you are in a lack consciousness, feeling like the universe is not going to, you're not going to get it back. If you lose this little bit, then you won't have that safety net. But it's when you feel like you can't, how am I supposed to put this? When you feel like you can't spend, that is the lack energy, and then you'll have more lack energy, and then you won't get the money that you really want. It's preventing you from stepping forward, like actually making a big step forward with whatever creative project or business that you're working on right now. You're going to have to make a decision in the future. The thing is, like, things can always go one way or the other. So there's no point in saying, no, I'm not going to spend that amount of money on this thing to invest in this aspect of my business, for example, because things can always change. You never know what's going to happen. But I really think that you need to look at your relationship with money very honestly to be able to be more focused on accomplishing your goals. I feel like there is going to be a message that comes that is going to be completely unexpected. It will probably throw you for a loop, and it might make you feel like you are at a standstill, that you can't necessarily move forward in the way that you want. There might be a little bit of mental stress due to this. It might have something to do with a decision that you need to make, and you're thinking about it, you're thinking about it, you're thinking about it. You know what it might be? It might be something like, okay, if I make this choice, and I feel like this is the choice you'll be more leaning towards, I'm not saying it's the right choice, something that will make you feel like it will get you more, emotional satisfaction and wealth and community and things like that. But then there's another option that is just completely unknown and you have no idea what way it's going to go. I need to pull some clarifying cards. But like overall, like I feel like when it comes to your business, you are doing a good job, but just remember you're at the beginning steps of it, but you've started. I'm just saying how to take it a step further. All right. What does Scorpio need to know for mid-July? Please and thank you. Okay, so interesting. All right, so it is 100% your ideas about money are blocking you, okay? You are so stuck in your head with the concept and idea of like when it comes to spending money or not spending money, it causes you so much stress. And I feel like you get stuck in one or two ideas. No, it has to be this way, it has to be this way, it has to be this way, but that's all up in your head. And there are actually, you know, infinite ways to get to your end goal. But I feel like you think when it comes to money that there are a very limited amount of options, and that's not true. And it's that mental block that's actually stopping you from taking the next step forward in your business. I mean, you have what it takes. You have the wisdom that it takes to do this. You might think, oh no, I don't, but actually you have a lot of old soul energy, and it's actually experience from previous lifetimes that will help you move forward. I think you just kind of lack a little bit of that confidence when it comes to money. It's something, we'll pull some advice cards right after about this, but yeah, I mean, please, please, please look at your relationship with money, because I want you to be successful. I feel like obviously in the past there's been difficulty and maybe confusion, and that could possibly be from, you know, everything, all the changes that have recently happened around the world, and it might have actually taken you kind of to a dark place. You may have gone into a little bit of depression, or maybe possibly some of you may have relied on substances too much, or gone back to old negative habits, stuff like that. But overall, like, be proud of yourself, because it could have gone way worse. You actually, compared to the way a lot of people went, you know, you've done quite well. You've maintained your integrity. You've overall stayed true to yourself. It's kind of like you went from 100% to 70%, whereas a lot of people went from 100% to 20%. Okay, so please just be happy that you made it through this difficult period. And I feel like the message that you're going to get about this creative project, it's going to really open you up emotionally. Like you might be able to really I feel you might be able to emotionally express yourself in a way, or it's something that you really love. You really are passionate deeply about this. Now, this decision that you have to eventually make, you actually manifested this decision, because I feel like there's been a lot going on under the surface, and you know, and I feel like just certain maybe aspects were not working out the way that you wanted them to, which is why there is going to be some sort of a message, and it might be from a powerful female potentially. It could have something to do with a female Taurus, but it has, honestly, it could be like a counselor, it could be just someone, or an authority figure, a boss, older female in your family, like your mom, for example. But I feel like, let me do one more. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think you're just going to have to make a decision, like a decision when it comes to your work about, are you going to take a risk, or are you going to kind of go more a tried and true path? This is interesting. Let's get some advice cards, and then you pick your own destiny cards. All right, so what does Scorpio need to know? Advice cards, mid-July, please and thank you. All right, so yeah, the stress has to, easier said than done, but it has to change. I'll show you both of these. So you have the Queen of Swords and the Princess of Swords as two of your advice cards. And the Queen of Swords, as an advice card, is saying you need to emotionally detach. Like, okay, so I know I was saying that, you know, this is something that you love, but when it comes, and that's great, but when it comes to business, you need to be able to do things that you love. But like, if you get feedback that's not necessarily ideal, you don't become a mess. You look at it logically and rationally and try and be emotionally detached. So I feel like it's good to love what you do, but you need to be able to take a step back, look at everything more clearly from a larger perspective, and make cool, rational, calculated decisions, right? But also the Princess of Swords is saying to be open-minded and to be flexible, and I definitely see that being really necessary for you to get to the next level and carry on with your journey of this creative project or business. Yeah. And one of the things, I think this might be the decision, possibly, that you might, you want to at least consider having some sort of a business partnership, Or if you are in a relationship, bring your partner more into it. Or even if, let's say, you know, you want to do the business on your own, if you do live with someone who is a partner, like maybe ask them, hey, can you do more cooking and cleaning and things like that, so that you have more time for your business. So they don't need to help you directly with the business, but you know, but there might be an opportunity of a partnership, and that's something. I'm not saying what to do. You have to decide. That might be the unknown factor, for example, but to at least consider it, because you know, I think some of the more successful businesses have someone who's really good at the operational aspect, and then someone who's really good with the people aspect and managing people. So like that's just an example, but you might have a better skill set in one area, but then there might be someone else that can help you with another skill set. But it needs to be something where you both really get along and have mutual respect and both help one another out. And your final advice card, don't be scared, it's the Devil. And that is all about being trapped in your mind and thinking that there's only one perspective. So your perspective specifically also with the way that you think your business is going to go or this project is going to go, like all you're gonna do is stress yourself out if you get trapped in a certain mind frame. And also, I know it's easier said than done, and it's really hard to remember in the moment, but if you're ever in like a negative mind frame and you're negatively spiraling, by the way, look up the negative positive spiral chart, because if you're feeling a certain way, you can't go straight away to happiness, but you can go to the next emotion up. So just, it's like baby steps to get back to positive emotion. Look it up. That might help you if you print it out and post it somewhere if that happens to you. Also be wary of any addictive behaviors, substances. You really need to just avoid them. Or if anyone is toxic energy or negative energy, or if that's work, you really just need to avoid it and walk away. You might feel like you're stuck, but you're never stuck. You can always walk away, 100%. It's a trick. It's a trick of the devil to make you think that you're stuck. You're not. All right, pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. We are doing destiny cards. Pick the first number that really sticks out to you, and please do comment below how this reading has resonated with you so far. I do love reading your comments and seeing how this general reading applies to so many different people in different ways. All right, 1, 2, or 3. If you picked 1, cool. Yeah, okay, so if you picked 1, like you have so much success. Things may have been difficult and unknown and confusing in the past, but you know, you've really come out on top, and you've really done quite well in uncharted waters, uncharted territory. You're going to continue to do well, and yeah, I mean, celebrate the victory that you have. Like, this is a victory. If you have a creative project or a business and it hasn't gone bankrupt during these times, like, that is a success in itself. Give yourself a pat on the back, all right? Your advice is just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep producing, keep creating, just keep doing it, improving your skill, your craft. The money is going to improve and improve and improve. Just keep doing what you need to do. Awesome. If you pick 2, very similar. It's like you might not be necessarily making the money that you want right now yet, but you've got enough, okay? And that's amazing. In fact, I feel that this work or business or project is, you've been divinely guided by it. And I think it's also because, you know, it's what's really important to you. I feel like you've figured out your values and what's important and where you want to go and how you want to live your life, your lifestyle, things like that, what really matters. And that's why you've picked the profession that you have. And you know, you might be at a point right now where, okay, you're not making the money that you want to make yet, but you feel like you have a purpose. There are people that need you, and some of you might work in food. Now, your advice card is, again, just keep doing what you're doing, and You might not be seeing quite the results that you want to see yet. What you're focusing on is creating that soil, that foundation for your business to continue to grow. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes energy, and it takes a lot of love. But you have it and you're doing it, so just keep doing it. Yeah, it's just one step after the other. If you picked 3, I feel like there may have potentially, something may have come to an end. By the way, this is also you. So this to me also represents huge transformation, but you like being able to understand the dark side of transformation and being able to embrace it. And I feel like there may have been a change, or that you're in the middle of the change potentially of the way that you saw this going. And so now you're having to regroup and to replan, and that's fine. I don't see any huge action steps at this moment when it comes to this creative project. But what you really should do right now, this can mean a few things. 1, celebrate how far you've come. Like seriously, you've made it so far. You've done such an awesome job. Celebrate, okay? It's a victory. This chapter is over. You need to plan for the next new phase, the new chapter, okay? It's like finishing one book in a series. Now you need to open the second book in the series, okay? And one final thing I was going to say, and potentially that next step for some of you could be taking it global or expanding around the planet. If you'd like a private reading, please send me an email or check out my website. It's in the description below. You can also follow me on social media. Definitely make sure you're subscribed because I do monthly and mid-monthly readings. And if you're still here, you get a secret bonus card. The Queen of Pentacles has an excellent balance between home and work life. She is an amazing manifester. So right now you've got this Princess of Pentacles energy, but you are going to level up, especially when it comes to business and making money and your physical body and the balance between home and work. You're just killing it. I'm really proud of you. Have a great month. Bye.